Welcome to the new Pokemon White 2 Retrospective Let's Play, or Let's Play Retrospective. We are finally here. Took a while, but it was about time. This is my favorite mainline game. Regardless, it still has its flaws. For one, the extra link system is total garbage. Why do you need to beat the game to unlock easy mode or hard mode? Why is easy and hard mode version exclusive? And why the only thing I like about extra link is that you can use it to transfer events using your predecessor game, as in the character you used is acknowledged in the story. So here's Professor Juniper, and what I like about this cutscene is that her Pokemon has evolved. I think about 2 years have passed since Pokemon White, and a lot of things have changed. Also in the competitive scene, we are obviously being a dude here. The chat. This guy in the manga is like a total badass. And next is our childhood friend, who is actually have a name Duke, but we are calling him, since we can, but he's a friend, right? So I don't want to call him anything. What do I call him? A loser. We already had that. I will just call him F, because then we don't have to read his name during the cutscenes, and also save some space, so the dialogue plays far more smoothly. We are going to use that speedrunner strat. Look at that nice beginning cutscene. Another thing is, this game came out, so back when Pokemon Black and White came out, the 3DS was already coming out. Now you release another game while the 3DS is out, but for the DS. So Game Freak needed to do something for 3DS owners to feel special, and that's being compatibility with Pokemon Dream Raider. And Pokemon Dream Raider is pretty much, if you have Pokemon Dream Raider, you have the option to pay to win in this game, accessing some really powerful Pokemon really early on. Examples are such being Porygon. Jokes on you, that was a joke, but there are a few all the Pokemons you get from the Dream Raider have the Dream World ability. It's their hidden ability. So you get Analytic Porygon, who can evolve into Analytic Porygon 2. Porygon 2 in this generation, pretty good Pokemon. And download its ability to copy abilities with Trace, or even the Analytic user that just hits back really hard, because Analytic boosts your attack if you attack second, even if your opponent switches out. And Porygon 2 being a not fully evolved Pokemon, since it can evolve to Porygon C, can be equipped with aerial light and pretty much wall a lot of Pokemon and be really annoying. Ice Beam, Recover, it doesn't die, Thunderbolt, Toxic, Charge Beam if you want to set up for some reason, Try Attack, a stab move. And Porygon obviously also evolves into Porygon Z, but Porygon Z doesn't want any ability besides adaptability, which instead giving 1.5 boost to your stab move, you get 2 times the stab power. That means if Try Attack is 90 base power, you are hitting with 180 base power. Normal type move. Incredible. And sadly, despite the massive power Porygon Z possesses, 80 speed, 1 attack, special attack power rivaling even that of your boy Alakazam, didn't see much play because it's too slow, and there are many Pokemon that hit much harder because they get the rain boost, they get the sun boost, they are a fighting type, they are a dragon type. Porygon Z doesn't have that luxury. You still have pretty good coverage with Bolt Beam, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Try Attack, Dark Pulse, Hidden Power Ground, Hidden Power Fighting I wanted to say. Nasty Plot to boost your already impressive attack stat. Magnificent. But Porygon is not the Pokemon you want to get for your early game. The Pokemons you want to get is Thundurus, Landorus, and Tornadus. We are going to talk about them after we pick our starter. We are never going to pick Tepig. I will never pick Tepig unless I'm paid for it. I chose Snivy even if it makes the game much harder. So what do we name? I will call it Snake. So here we have our probably my favorite Gen 5 starter. Sadly it isn't good in this generation because no contrary, and we are using it in game. And in game you have to rely on overgrow, so nothing we can do about it. We are done, I guess. Now we can leave and we have to fight our rival, who doesn't pick a starter, but he happens to have bred one that is strong against ours. Hugh may be one of the most underwhelming rivals. Was that a glitch on the trash can earlier? Yeah, doesn't matter. And what the problem is that Hugh has no presence in this game. I don't remember anything about him. He's an edgy rival, but a rather disappointing edgy rival. So can we now fight? Yeah, he raised his Tepig from an egg, conveniently, to beat us. As if he knew that we are going to pick Snivy. Yeah. So you get the legendary genies really early on with the hidden ability, defined for both Tornadus and Cinderace, and Sheer Force for Landorus. But you don't have to worry about these abilities because they come in their Syrian form. Besides for Thunderous, the Syrian form is the best form for both other genies for in-game run, because you probably won't be abusing Sheer Force for Landorus anytime soon. So let's talk about Syrian forms for a bit. Landorus is the most famous Syrian form user because Intimidate. It loses speed and a bit special attack, and its attack rises even higher, 100 45, but in this generation and a few other, in this generation it's used more defensively with Stealth Rock, Earthquake, and Stone Edge and some other things, with Rocky Helmet on. So if you want to use offensive rock types, you do ground flying types, you do other things. Ground types, I meant. And despite not being as bulky at the surface as Gligar, who has Toxic Orb and Toxic Heal now. Yeah, let's talk about Gliscor, because Gligar has immunity, and if it evolves with its hidden ability to Gligar, it gets Toxic Heal. So it heals whenever it's poisoned quite a lot of HP. And what people tend to do is protect to get that guaranteed setup, and then pretty much annoy your opponent to no end, because there's nothing they can do. Protect, substitute, it gets healed enough. A lot of people put some special defense IVs to guarantee even hitting some of the heaviest hits, or nearly 2 levels. And Gliscor around with Roost, which it gets this generation, which makes it even bulkier, but I don't think many use Roost because you don't need Roost. Taunt to annoy other annoyers and defensive Pokemon. Earthquake, Stone Edge isn't seen much, but Ice Fang is seen quite a lot. It can learn Fire Fang too, if I remember correctly. Ice and Fire Fang are the most common moves you see usually. And some people don't use the Toxic Orb set, but use another abilities with Sword Dance and Acrobatics, itemless set. But you can also run Acrobatics on the Toxic Orb set, because it can learn Flink. So you throw your Toxic Orb, poison something else, and then you can Acrobatics and have a massive stab move. And on top of that, with Sword Stance, it's a pretty terrifying Pokemon. And then you have Landorus has quite a lot to live up to as a defensive Pokemon, but it both can learn U-turn and both do quite well. And Landorus is the one who abuses Rocky Helmet, but it can also go offensively. And if you play any other Pokemon game with Landorus, it's running Scarf. It's running Scarf. It still uses Stealth Rock, Earthquake, and sometimes you see also a Sword Dance variant, because it also can learn Sword Dance. Oh man, Landorus is such an insane Pokemon. Tornadus already UU in terms of usefulness, but now I think it is OU. It can because it can spam hurricanes in the rain, but with its Syrian form it became so bulky. Even after dropping both attack stats, it still hits with both attack stats really high, because they are both over 100. Guess which stats are increased. Its bulk is increased and its speed is increased. So this thing doesn't die and then spams Hurricane. It has Regenerator, so it doesn't die. So it doesn't die. It doesn't die as a Pokemon. Why did I go up here? We need to progress. Tornadus. Oh, we have a Snivy, thanks. And we get a potion, thank you. Landorus also, Tornadus also got another move. It's called Heat Wave. And with Heat Wave it can punish annoying Pokemon like steel types that would wall it, such as Pharazôn. So Pharazôn would probably not want to switch into a hurricane. Even if it's raining, you want heat wave on it. But it can also run Focus Blast, which will probably miss. And also Taunt is a fine move. And you can pivot with U-turn, because you don't have to fear much, since each time you switch out, you gain 1/3 of your health back. Like I said, Regenerate is broken. So we have seen the obligatory tutorial for catching a Pokemon. Thundurus didn't get the better end of the deal. It lost speed, it lost its amazing ability called Prankster, which it could abuse the best of the two genies at the start. Instead it got Volt Absorb and a boost in offense, specifically in special attack, so it hits as hard as Chandelure. It really didn't need that, but it does still see play because it's the best electric type probably you can use after, what was it called? After Jolteon. It can learn Nasty Plot, you can patch up the speed drop, which its speed is still impressive for back then. With agility, spam Thunder, use Focus Blast, and you can use it to pivot out with Volt Switch or U-turn. It has quite a lot of options. Let's kill this Purloin first and get a level up. Maybe we can learn a new move. Can we learn a new move? Wind Whip. Not that impressive, but what nature is our Snivy? I hope that's not something really bad. It's naughty, which is fine, we can use both attack stats. Here we get a potion. From the dream world, what else can you get? Bronzong with the hidden ability. Bronzong is a really good Pokemon because it's Steel Psychic typing, and because Dark type didn't get Steel types didn't get nerfed. It still has its resistance to Ghost and Dark, which never made sense to me. So the only weakness it has is Fire and Ground, but usually it has two abilities that remedy one of these weaknesses. Heatproof, which turns fire type moves to neutral hits, and the more impressive Levitate, which allows it to avoid hazards that are except Stealth Rock. And obviously, okay, we can trigger as the High Grass, and here we have Elder, and obviously immunity to ground type moves, so there's that. And in the rain it has immunity, its fire weakness is also gone, so it's pretty much a Pokemon without weakness in the rain. And it has massive defensive stats. It doesn't die. It has no means to heal itself normally, but you don't really need that. Bronzong is that insane of a Pokemon. A Stealth Rock, you can run Gyro Ball because it's slow and punish your opponent. You can run Earthquake, you can do some other shenanigans I can't think about. Trick Room is not that impressive, but you can run it and then explode and send out a slow, really hard hitting Pokemon to sweep. And I mentioned Stealth Rock because that's the only reason I would run that thing. There's Stealth Rock, Hypnosis, maybe. But the one from Dream Radar you don't want to, because it doesn't have either these good abilities. Instead, what you have is Light Body or something, I think. It has an ability that really does nothing. That's how unmemorable it is. So if we are going... Okay, we should follow this road. Thank you. Does this guy have anything of importance to say? Nope. So what does this lady say? Nothing. You can also get a Drift Loon from the Dream World, from the Dream Raider. A Drift Loon is really good because of Unburden. It got quite a lot of buffs because of the gems. Give it a... Usually, despite having a higher special attack, people use the physical variant because it has 80 base attack, a decent speed despite looking relatively bulky, and if you have Unburden and put it a flying gem, it hits amazing with its acrobatics, and then it gets a speed boost, and because it has no items left, acrobatics gets the acrobatics boost. I don't know what else people run on it. I can think of more moves you can run on the special set, like you can run Weather Ball if you have a Weather team. You can run Thunder if you have a Weather team. You can Thunderbolt. You can use Shadow Ball. You can use Calm Mind. You can explode. Set up your own weather and explode. So I don't can't think of many other things you can do. But the bad thing about Drift Loon from the Dream World is that you get the special version of Sengu's Dream World ability, which if you are burned, your special attack is increased by 50%. And not many people use it. There's not much benefit to it. I don't know how good it is in practice, because it has been quite a while since I used one, but it's usually not recommended because you are wearing yourself down in the progress, and Unburden is so much better in that regard. Also, what else do we have? Now we have defeated Isabelle and got another level up. What else do we get from the Dream World? Obviously, if you have Pokemon Silver, Soul Silver, Heart Gold, you Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, you get access, if you have them in your 3DS slot, you can catch these Pokemon as well. Oh, we can catch some Voltilon. Maripia. Almost forgot the name of Ampharos and pre-evolutions in English. No, Tapic. Let's see how we perform against Tapic now. Probably we are going to get destroyed. So Ho-Oh got a massive boost with its hidden ability. Regenerator. You know what Regenerator does. It heals after you switch. And because it's weak to Stealth Rogue, you can kinda play around it. Sacred Fire is physical. It can use Brave Bird and heal up the damage. It can boost anyways, so there's that. I will use potion here. Ho-Oh, insanely Pokemon. Earthquake. Some people used a Calm Mindset for some reason, and it's you can use it with Groudon. Stun was permanent, so you don't need to fear much and spam some boosted Circuit Fire, and it's insane. Not many Pokemon can switch into Ho-Oh and without getting punished. 50% burn rates, that's insane. And if you think that's bad, imagine what Lugia got. Freaking Lugia got multi-scale, so the first attack damage it takes from a direct hit while its HP is full is halved. So it won't die. Unlike Dragonite, it does not have a weakness, triple weakness to anything, double weakness to anything, so that's a lot. Oh, we are going to find this person's dog, I think. But first we get healed and then we get a potion, not heal. And the thing about Lugia is it's Uber's wall. Up to this generation it is known as the wall in Ubers. So it's your defensive Pokemon of choice. So you get healed. Why couldn't they do that from the start? But let's get that item first. Or let's battle this lady. Yeah, and because Lugia has Roost or Recover, you can choose whichever you want. Roost has some merit because you can play around some of your weaknesses by dodging them in the progress, because Lugia is insanely fast in addition to being insanely bulky. So that's no surprise. It goes fast. And what move comes out? String Shot. What a great move. Lugia also got Dragon Tail as a alternative to Whirlwind to force your opponents to switch, so you can spread more toxic and deal some hazard damage. Pretty useful Pokemon. Highly recommended using it if you can get it, that is. But I don't know if you can get Lugia and Ho-Oh as for early use like Landorus, Tornadus and Thundurus. If you can, that's broken. Imagine you instead of Snivy, you are using your level 5 Ho-Oh Lugia. They don't die and they destroy the game. Unless they don't get any good moves early on, then that would be a problem. Because I know Ho-Oh's first move is Whirlwind, and you probably don't want Whirlwind everything. So it may take a while you get the good moves. But if you can use these Uber legendaries really early on, then you can also use Dialga, Palkia and Giratina really early on, because their hidden abilities suck. But for an in-game run, they are quite broken. The hidden ability of these 3 dragons is Telepathy, which does nothing in singles because it's a doubles exclusive ability. So what it does is, if you are hit by a move of your partner, you take no damage. Like, you can have Dialga on the field and your partner Pokemon uses Earthquake, you take no damage from that Earthquake. The next thing is, let's talk about the 3 dragons, how they perform this generation, because they are dragon types, so you can spam Outrage, you can spam Draco Meteor and nothing will survive. And they have really good courage. Giratina is especially good, especially in its origin form, which has higher attack and levitate, because it's your spin blocker of choice. you have some competition with Arceus Ghost, but if you want to use your Arceus slot for something else, yeah, you can use Giratina instead. Because you can now get full IVs on your Arceus. Arceus is the Pokemon of choice to use as an event exclusive legendary Pokemon, the Pokemon that created all Pokemon with 120 on each stat, so you can run pretty much any set you want. And if you give it a plate, it changes its type based on the type of the plate. So Flame Plate will make it a fire type, and some boosted fire moves hit really hard. Really good in this generation especially, because it doesn't die. Nothing I can think of can one-shot Arceus, whichever pronunciation you want to, if you prefer. But the normal type version is more powerful because it can have an item of any kind. The Extreme Killer, use Sword Dance, and then you can spam Priority to Extreme Speed. And oh, your opponent has a Ghost type, use Shadow Claw, it's dead. As they want to kill you, they can't kill you. People run Terrakion just to kill Arceus normal. That's how impressive Arceus is this generation. And I didn't even talk about all sets, cause if I talk about any set, it will take forever. Even Dragon Arceus is insane, because it's a Dragon type, and Dragon types are broken. Outrage, Sword Dance, Earthquake, what more do you need? But it's also known for its Arceus is also known for its Calm Mindset, which Electric Arceus likes to abuse. And in Rain, Thunder always hits. Oh, Water Arceus can spam Thunder and spam powerful water types, but I think since you are using Kyogre in that regard, you may preserve your Courage move for something else. Really good Pokemon. Arceus Fighting, because fighting types are broken, it has a special worthy of a special mention because it's a special fighting type. Calm Mind, Focus Blast, or Calm Mind Judgment. Judgment becomes the type of your plate, so it's always a stab move. And back to Lugia, I forgot to mention, because you have the dragons of this generation which have Mold Breaker variations. They can bypass your multi-scale, so be careful. So Giratina, Dragon Tail obviously is the thing you may want to use. Calm Mindset with Ghost Fighting Courage, Aura Sphere, and Shadow Ball. Nothing can switch into that. You don't even need a fighting dragon type, but you will use a dragon type because dragon is broken. So you may run as the Rest or Draco Meteor. Or you use the physical set with Shadow Force. You don't use the physical set. But you can spam Outrage. You can spread burns with. Did he just heal our Pokemon? He didn't, so I'm going back and heal. I don't want to. Since I'm so deep in talking, I'm going to take my time here. The Alga, it's a Steel type. What are you going? It will likely not get killed. Dark type Pokemon can't do shit against it. It can spam. It can use a bulk up set with Outrage and Earthquake. Yeah, you are using a physical set on a specially oriented Pokemon. That's how amazing dragon typing is. It has 120 special physical attacks, so don't worry about that. You can obviously use Stealth Rock on it, which is impressive. You can spam Draco Meteor, you can use fire type moves in the sun with Fire Blast. You don't use Roar of Time, you don't use Roar of Time. You use Draco Meteor, that's final. You can run Dragon Pulse, you can run Augur Sphere. A lot of really good moves. You don't run Steel type moves. I would not run Steel type moves. Oh, and it gets Earth power. So Dragon Earth coverage, Ground coverage is great. Dragon Fire coverage is great. Dialga is just a great Pokemon. And it's bulky. And it can take many hits, so you have that. And you have Palkia. Because Kyogre is around everywhere. So Palkia is almost everywhere. And it has like insane attack. It's the fastest dragon in the tier after Arceus. That is banned. There are unbanned dragons that are faster, like the Lati twins, which can hold Soul Dew. We will talk about the Latis later. So with Palkia is that it has two really powerful dragon type moves from the special side, and those are obviously Draco Meteor and Space Rent. Space Rent is a 100 base power dragon type moves that can do critical damage from its 150 base special attack like Dialga and Reshiram. It's insane. Oh my god, this guy has a Golduck. I mean Psyduck. And let's not get distracted. Palkia is a water dragon type, and because it's a water type it gets boosted Hydro Pump and Surf in the rain. Guess which Pokemon is the most common Pokemon? It's it's Kyogre, who sets up the rain. It can use Thunder, which never misses in the rain. It can use Ice Beam, powerful ice type move, which you probably don't use because you probably use Fire Blast to get rid of Ferrothorn. Oh no, this Blissey is walling you. This thing can learn Focus Punch. Oh look, another Azurill. We will talk about Azurill too. So Palkia is set in saying, yeah, you are running mixed Palkia too, because it can learn Outrage and has impressive attack. Nothing your opponent can really do against it. Azurill didn't get anything impressive. It got from the Dream World Zap Zipper, which this generation is not really helpful because you can trap grass types with Whirlpool, because Whirlpool isn't accessible. It can't learn Whirlpool and have its hidden ability. But huge power, Aqua Jet, Waterfall, Ice Punch, Double Edge, Super Power, still really impressive even if it isn't a fairy type, but if it were a fairy type it would be much better. Sadly it doesn't see any play in high tiers because it's like oh, you heard the dog. It's like Diamanitan but slow, but water type. And that isn't really a bad thing. Meryl really evolves fast to Azumarill level 18 I think, and we have used one and it performed good despite not even having stab moves that were useful in the gen we used it. And now imagine you play Gen 5 where it has actually good stab moves. It will perform a lot better. So definitely a Pokemon worth considering. We are not going to catch any dog Pokemon, by the way. I'm sorry for those who like dogs and may want to watch a run that do run dogs, because there are plenty of trainers that use dog Pokemon. Let's pretend we didn't hear about Team Plasma. So this is Neo Team Plasma. This guy's frustrated, so he's giving us frustration. And now he ran away. How sad. Let's bring the dog back to its master. Oh, he is... has brought him to us. Is there anything else in my mind? We pretty much talked about the legendaries. Yeah, just slap a choice band on your Azumarill and it will do quite well in competitive. In game, I don't know. It will do fine. We may use a Marill, but Azurill just ran away and it's a friendship evolution, so it would take a while until we get what we want. What I like about Black 2 is it's like a reverse Pokemon Black and White. And so the thing about Pokemon Black and White is that you have a completely new experience. But Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, they mix these things and give you a really large option of Pokemon to use. Every route has more than 3 Pokemon with different variation of Pokemon, old and new, because over the years some old Pokemon came to Unova somehow, probably from the giant chasm, which is a nice twist for a sequel game. At first I was kinda skeptical, but it's not so bad. It's the first really large Pokédex you get, with a lot of Pokemon to catch for your in-game performance. The following games would always improve more and more on it, except in Sword and Shield. So you can catch really early on a Mareep, we didn't see one. We can catch Azurill, so they also fixed the baby Pokemon problem. You get baby Pokemon really early. You can catch a Riolu in this route. I don't intend to use Riolu, but if you get Riolu evolves to Lucario, and Lucario in this gen, I already talked about it in my Pokemon White game. But imagine the thing about Riolu is that it becomes Lucario, and Lucario has one-shot the boss legendary in this game. Every run I have seen with someone using a Lucario, they one-shotted Cure and with it. Like, there's this intimidating Pokemon that has 10 base stat total, the second highest base stat total of all Pokemon, and they just one-shot it with a close combat or focus aura sphere, depending on the player. It's kinda it's kinda funny. And next up is the other kid. Ampharos this generation didn't get much love. Its hidden ability is minus, I think, which is useless in singles games, so you are stuck. You better use static, which can paralyze your opponent. It's a slow electric type. You can use Heal Bell to support your team. It's bottom tier, sadly, because there's no reason to use it. It's probably may kill us because this thing. So Thunderbolt Volt Switch. A Volt Switch is useful for a slow pivot. Hidden Power Ice or Fire. You may use Focus Blast. Pretty good move. And Signal Beam, Power Gems, there are a few options, but Ampharos is pretty much outclassed by other electric types, so you use it in bottom tier where it attacks second always, regardless, but it's still a powerful Pokemon. But it's a mono electric type, and electric type, well, it has just one weakness. It has not many resistances. Oh my god, this guy. He is going to give us a bunch of medallions. I hate this mechanic where you talk to him, he stands next to the Pokemon healing thing, and you click by mistake A at him, and then you get all these medallions for the most trivial things you have done. And you can't even complete these medallions because some of them are related to stuff you do in the dream world, and because of the internet and because dream world is shut down, the GTS, it doesn't support that thing. You don't have access to many of the medallions. And garbage. So we talked about. Did we talk about Psyduck? Psyduck didn't get anything. It's just generally decently fast. Yeah, we talked about Psyduck. There's nothing. It's so forgettable. I don't even remember if I talked about it. But now I didn't remember, but now I remembered that we actually did. I think we should catch a new Pokemon, or should we? In this area you can catch a Sunkern. Sunkern with the Sunstone evolves into Sunflora, and Sunflora is a slow, frail grass type. 105 special attack is fine, but it doesn't have any good abilities. Its abilities are so useless to it, Solar Power and Chlorophyll, that it rather use its bad Dream World ability, which is Early Bird, which allows it to wake up earlier from sleep. So instead of sleeping for 2 turns, you sleep for 1 turn. For example, from rest, but that's pretty much about it. Didn't get any new moves, I think. It has terrible coverage. I mean, Poison type doesn't hit anything super effectively, so Sludge Bomb is useless, and it's not a Poison type, so it doesn't even get stab on it. Bad Pokemon. We are now level 12. Maybe it's enough to beat the gym leader. Maybe we should have caught some new Pokemon. But we will see about that. Let me take a sip of my water. And quickly challenge the gym leader. Charon from the previous game became the gym leader. He made a school in this place. Yeah, because we need more schools to teach trainers, and yeah, we have to beat these kids before we can challenge him. Yeah, it's a nice character development for him, finding what he prefers or usefulness of his skill or whatnot, what his dream is. But I couldn't really care less. I just want to get into the juicy stuff with competitive and catching Pokemon. I'm not here for the story. I want my freedom to find and destroy worlds, pretty much. So it's Padred, who is going to give us attack IVs. We might as well take it because we don't have contrary, so, and both attack stats are equally high, or rather said, equally low. I may catch more Pokemon in this game for the PWT, the Pokemon World Tournament. Did it get Grow? We want Grow to boost both attacks. I don't know if Charon is going to give us Work Up. Grow is just like Work Up, but in a sense better, because if it happens to Sunny, we get a small boost. Are we going to lose to this Piplup? Lillipup? I think I will challenge that. We didn't. And with this we defeated Petro. Yeah, we get the Overgrow boost, right? Next up is this girl, Serena. Another Serena, so impressive. Level 9 Lillipup. Let's see how many moves we need to defeat this one. It goes for Leo to lower our defenses. The next Pokemon may use it to pick up the health of us. Next is another Patrat. Patrat may hit. I wonder how hard Patrat hits. It goes for Leer. If it had tagged, it might have killed us. What a waste of our turn. Normally we could just use a potion and heal up, but I'm going to heal first in the Pokemon Center. So to simultaneously restore our PP. And let's go like this. The next gym leader after this may be troublesome. We need to catch a new Pokemon. And I think I know who we're going to catch. The problem is if the stats are the nature. And like I said, I don't really enjoy natures because they limit, they make you skeptical of what Pokemon you want to use. Maybe you don't want to use your favorite Pokemon because the nature just destroys it. And the Pokemon I'm talking about is Magnemite. And if it's Adamant nature, I don't intend to use it. Or Careful. I don't want to use a Careful Magnemite. So I may reconsider our choice. A Magnemite from the Dream World gets Analytic too, so if it hits after your opponent, it does more damage. But and Sturdy got buffed, so it will always survive if it has Sturdy. What is annoying about this thing? We have chosen that move, I see. Okay, we will just grow here. And since it's inclined of boosting, let's see how much this does. It does nothing. So I'm going to boost one more time. And if it gets us to growth range, we okay, this will get a little spicy, so if it did just that much after a work up, it probably won't kill us, but I don't want to risk getting crit by this thing, so we are going to one-shot it. And next up is Lillipup. I will just boost here once more and we will see what he is going to do. It goes for Tackle. Can we? Yeah, we can survive this. Let's go for Wind Whip here. It did less than I anticipated. Let's go for another Wind Whip. it's as if we get weaker with each boost, which should not happen. Oh, that was the last Pokemon? Like, okay, I guess. If I had known that, I wouldn't risk consider boosting again. Maybe I should pay more attention, but we got the badge from him. I forgot the name of the badge. As the basic badge, exactly. We should get work up. We don't need work up, to be honest. I hoped we get return. We get return really early on, and that move will be pretty useful for our in-game run. And let's go like this. And outside someone is waiting. It's Bianca. Yeah, we got return. So we can get rid of tackle. Because we don't want tackle on this thing anymore. What else? Yep, about Magnemite. Because Eviolite Magneton is much bulkier. It's the difference between Magneton and Magnezone is the speed difference. Magnezone has less speed, so they still compete against each other as a Choice Scarf, Steel Revenge Killer. And the revenge killing part is used with Magnemite's last ability, which is a Magnet Pull, which with this your opponent's steel types can switch out once Magneton or Magnezone are switched in, and then you can pick them up with Hidden Power Fire, Hidden Power Ground, or with a strong electric type move in the case of Skarmory, because it gets stabbed on electric type moves. And it can now learn Volt Switch, a massive boost for the Magnemite line, and sometimes people use Hidden Power Electric, Hidden Power Ice I mean, to get rid of the dragons, but it's rare in this generation. You can use Thunder on it, because obviously it may be raining, so you... oh, here he is. And the rain, Thunder always hits. The other moves are really depend. There's one more move slot. You would think using... what is it called? Flash Cannon. Don't use Flash Cannon. Don't hit anything of importance with super effective damage, but you can if you don't have anything else to use. As I have to look up what other moves Magneton and Magnezone learn in that generation, but in the lower tiers Magneton can still abuse its hidden ability with Eviolite if you so choose, and pick up some unwanted guests with it. Oh, I forgot to teach its return, did I? Yes, I forgot. We do that right now. So Magneton in this Magnemite line this generation, really good. It's where they started to get better and better. 125 special attack, nothing to laugh at. 135 special attack is also nothing to laugh at. So there's that. Did we heal? Yeah, we got healed, so we don't need to go to the Pokemon Center. And we can proceed to the next area where the second gym leader is awaiting us, Roxy. Roxy uses poison type Pokemon, but she's not as broken like in the anime, where she just used 3 Pokemon and almost defeated Ash with Ash, who used 6 Pokemon. which is rather embarrassing. No, don't want an explanation. Can I go now? So because here she's the second gym, it's more forgiving. But because we have Snivy and she uses poison type Pokemon, which are really physically bulky, we are at a disadvantage. So we need a Pokemon that hits from the special side and maybe have an immunity or resistance to poison type moves, and that's why I mentioned Magnemite. And she has a move called um, Venom Shock, which is a 80 base power poison type move, which is really impressive and strong this early on in the game. But it's not really helpful considering her Pokemon are more physically orientated. Except maybe coughing, but we will talk about it later. So this guy uses his Riolu already, and we are going to hopefully one-shot it with Return. Oh, it has Quick Attack. Fine. Let's see how much Return does. Having Return this early on, I want to see how... Oh god, it used Endure. Okay, we can't one-shot it, but this is a good time to see how much power we have with... Return is obviously stronger. Okay, it was not a mistake to teach Return this early on. I wanted to see if it hits harder than our other move, than Tackle. But since it even surpasses Stab Wind Whip, it's a fine choice. Let's beat up this child. A preschooler? I wonder what he has. Maybe a Psyduck. Okay. Masuda's favorite Pokemon. And let's wind whip it. And it's dead. We get some special attack IVs, I think, from this thing. And, oh god, another interruption. What does he want now? Oh yeah, he's going to teach us about doubled grass encounters. Sadly we only have one Pokemon, so we won't see any double Pokemon. But the Pokemon in the double grass are relatively strong anyways. Yes, there's an item. A Great Ball. May this come in handy. Let's get out of here. Let's beat the trainers here, so later we don't have to worry about them when we backtrack to find certain trainers. So he sends up his Lollipop. We are going to 2-hit KO it with Return. And so far so good. I think the old Pokemon the new generation Pokemon perform in this game about as well as in the other game. So if you have Darmanitan, it will do just as good. And if you have Lillipup, it will also do just as good. And if you have Drillbur, it will do just as good. But I don't know how well Hexers will do. Like how early we will get it. Here's Swaddle. We didn't use Swaddle last time, but we caught it, so we ignore it this time. And we get an antidote, which may be useful later. And what do we find here? It's a dire hit. Can we avoid these children? Normally, yeah, okay, we can avoid them. The annoying thing about children in this game. In the previous games they were like preventing us against these Pokemon. We get some great bolts, thank you very much. Oh no. How many times? Okay, it's mom. So I don't really like these interruptions. It doesn't matter which Pokemon game. And here we see the gym leader with her dad who wants to be a movie star for some freaking reason. It's another side quest which I don't like. The movie star Pokestar Studios, where you will are forced to make watch a movie and make one, I think. I don't remember if I completed them, because I don't really like the make a movie side quest. Oh yeah, we don't have a bike. How could I forget? When you're so used to everything, and this trash can has an antidote. Who's throwing these antidotes in the trash? Oh, what's here? We have an X accuracy. So we enter the new area and we may find some different Pokemon. We can't go here, we don't have cut. What does this guy have to say? No. But I think this is a good place to end the episode, because this is just an hour long already and I'm kinda tired. We'll see each other next